Welcome to the Big Three, Fantasy Alarm TV. I'm your host, Ray Flowers. FantasyAlarm.com/winning for your 2015 draft guide for fantasy football. If you don't have it, you are missing out. We're talking wide receivers today. Let's start out at the top with the number 1. That's the number of seasons in which Julio Jones has had 10 touchdowns in his career. It's also the number of seasons in which he's had 80 catches or 1,200 yards. The fact is, Julio Jones is an immense talent. He could end up being the best wide receiver in fantasy football in 2015, but his track record is one of ill health. He's had a hard time playing 16 games, playing 4 quarters in all those games, and as a result, his overall numbers haven't quite been there. Now, I know last season he went over 100 catches, almost had 1,600 yards, only had 6 touchdowns, but it was a massive season for him, and he missed a game. He only played 15 games. If he can play 16 games with health, the chance of him surpassing last season's numbers, it's actually decent. I mean, it's hard to say 100 catches and almost 1,600 yards is something that a guy can improve on, but Julio Jones is an immense talent. He should be drafted as a wide receiver 1. Keep those fingers crossed that he plays in 16 games. Second number of the day is 9, as in the number of touchdowns scored last season by Emmanuel Sanders. It was the first time he had a chance to work with Peyton Manning with the Broncos. Now, what's interesting with Sanders is his previous 3 years with the Steelers, he scored 9 total touchdowns. So he matched that number in just one season with Peyton Manning in Denver. Now, he's 5'11", 180 pounds. He's a smallish guy, Sanders is. So expecting him to repeat 100 catches, 1,400 yards, and those 9 touchdowns, it's a tall order. Could he repeat a couple of those numbers? Yeah, he could. And he's kind of on the borderline of wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 status this season. Don't draft Sanders expecting an improvement. Don't draft him expecting a full repeat. But with Peyton Manning throwing passes and Demaryius Thomas on the other side of the field to occupy defenses, a very good season is certainly likely to be happening for Emmanuel Sanders. Horrible sentence structure there, but I'm going to keep going. The last number of the day is 1417, as in the number of yards the last 2 seasons as an average for Jordy Nelson. 1,417 yards. He's also averaged 92 catches and 10.5 touchdowns over those 2 seasons. He's elite. Now, the only thing holding him back is his health as well. He had a hip issue that needed surgery. All reports suggest everything is fine. He should be good to go by week 1. Shouldn't be anything that holds him back. But he has had bumps and bruises through the years. Hard time playing 4 quarters in games. In and out of the lineup an awful lot. You've got Aaron Rodgers throwing passes. Cobb, Nelson, Lacey. Not a better foursome in the world of fantasy football. You draft Jordy Nelson as a wide receiver 1. As long as he stays healthy, you'll be happy with that decision. FantasyAlarm.com/winning for your 2015 draft guide. Make yourself happy with your decision. Go with us at FantasyAlarm.com. Get the information you need to dominate in fantasy football in the coming season. You'll be happy you did. Ray Flowers, Fantasy Alarm TV. Talk to y'all again soon.